pancake and power slam. Turn it up, it's the pancake and power slam. Turn it up, it's the pancake and power slam. Turn it up, it's the pancake and power slam show. Turn it up, it's the pancake and power slam. Turn it up, it's the pancake and power slam. Turn it up, it's the pancake and power slam show. Turn it up.
What's going on, everybody? This is Dr. Chris Featherstone here for yet another episode of Pancakes and Power Slam Show. We are at 629 episodes, ladies and gentlemen. We are live and in living color, getting funky like a monkey, if you will, baby. Yeah, I haven't said that in a while. I'm going to start saying that again because that felt good. All right, man. So, got some live notes from WWE Raw. I wanted to discuss a little Chelsea Green. But before that, I wanted to talk about Trick Williams winning the NXT championship tonight, man. I don't follow NXT much, but man, I've put Trick Williams over for a long time, man, because I see big money in him. I just tweeted during the intro. I've seen big money in him, man. He's got the look, he's got fan support, he's got the ring, the theme song, he's got that. He's just got star power written all over him, man. He's got, this is like I said in my tweet, man. This is just phase one. I think this is phase one to an amazing career. I think that he's just working on his mic work on his in-ring ability, polish himself a little bit more. He's only been in the business completely only a few years now. So he's very, very young in the business. And I think that he can be one of the top baby faces in the WWE period, man. I really do. I think he's got a ton of worth. I think he's got a ton of potential. I really like Trick Williams, man. I do. I've said this before in many podcasts, man. I've been putting this dude over for a while now, because I've been seeing just the potential that he's had, and just I've seen the growth in him. Being someone who was just like the heavy, or so to speak, assistant or sidekick of Carmelo Hayes, and working his way up to really breaking away from that and finding his own identity. And it's interesting. I've said this before. Theme songs really can make or break a character, and the fans getting into the theme song the way that they do, I think is really cool. And not only is it really cool, I really think that it's really pivotal to his success. Because I remember because it's interesting because again, I haven't followed NXT on a weekly basis in a long time, probably since when it went from black and gold to the kind of like the rainbow splash, theme NXT when Champa was champ around that time. I kind of started to veer off because I just started to not really get into it as much. And I'll peek in, and I was watching the pay-per-views every now and then I just started to veer off quite a bit. But I was still like I would peek in and look at like NXT's Twitter or X account and things like that. I would get stuff on Facebook, and I was doing some self-care. I took myself out to dinner and just did a reset, just from a crazy long week of work. Probably a few weeks ago, I do self-care, but a few weeks ago, I had some time, so I went to a restaurant and a nice restaurant and got me a good meal. And I was like, I'm just going to sit here and just relax. And I was like, you know what? I'm typically not the person who watches wrestling when I'm by myself, unless it's documentaries. I've said this before. I love pro wrestling documentaries. I love documentaries, period. But particularly pro wrestling documentaries is part of that as well. But I just felt just compelled to. I was on YouTube, and I was about to watch a documentary. I believe I love watching documentaries, and I was about to watch a documentary. And one of the so it goes by algorithm. So I work in the pro wrestling podcast journalism business, and so I look at pro wrestling stuff, and so of course that's going to pop up in my algorithm. And one of the things that popped up in my algorithm was the complete history of Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes. I was like, I'm interested in that because I didn't follow it all the way. I saw it in spurts, but I didn't follow from start to finish. And so I watched the entire thing. I think it was probably like 2 hours long. I didn't watch it all in one setting, but I watched it. I watched it, and I started to watch more of it when I was doing cardio during workouts. And so it took me a few days, but I ended up watching that whole thing, and I was like, man, I already really like this guy. And that video, WWE did a really good job with that video because it made me like him even more. And it was cool because like I was just looking at the end of it, like the last minute or two of the match. And it was cool because they did like the face off. I don't know if that was a kind of a mimic to Osprey and Danielson, but they did do the face off on the side thing with Trick Williams and Ilya Dragunov. And then Trick did the trick shot. I believe that's his finisher, the knee, the high knee, which I think is also a cool finishing move because it doesn't require picking people up, or it's not some fake. I'm gonna assist you with doing it and stuff like that. It's just I mean, someone. It makes sense that someone could have a knee shot from someone who works on their knee, who works out quite a bit, and uses their knee to knock somebody down for 3 seconds. I mean, that makes sense. You're doing a jumping knee. It's a flash finisher. You can knock somebody out for 3 seconds with the knee smash. So that makes sense. And so I like that too. So I think that polishing the finisher, and make it kind of out of nowhere would be pretty cool too. So he's got some polishing to do, but I like the guy, man. I think he's money. I really have been putting him over. And then, the only kind of like I wish type of thing is I wish that they would have had his first title reign be on a bigger stage. But I do think that Carmelo and Ilya Dragunov are both coming to the main roster. So it seems like they just wanted to um, give him that title win there. I wouldn't necessarily say hot shot because he had a pay-per-view match, I believe, with Ilya, if I'm mistaken. And Ilya was a part of the feud from what I saw. Ilya was a part of the feud. He was kind of like a third man in the riff and the dissension between Carmelo and Trick Williams. And so it makes sense that he beat Ilya for the title because he was a part of the feud in an indirect way too. And plus, he's had matches against both Carmelo and Trick Williams, so it made sense for him to beat him. Yeah, I just wish that it was like a bigger stage. I think with all the fan, backing that Trick Williams is having, he's actually, from what I've seen, one of the biggest and most supported, just across the board, unanimous baby faces in all of WWE right now. So let this cook, let him be champ for a while, but I definitely can see. My prediction is Trick Williams would be a part of 2025's Royal Rumble match. He'll have a really good showing, and I think that he'll be on the main roster by next January. By after the Rumble, I think he'll be on the main roster, and I think that he'll have a pretty cool Mania spot, maybe a bigger stage against Carmelo Hayes. That would be an interesting thing to see on a bigger stage, and they've got a lot of history as well, so that could be a thing. So, kudos to Trick Williams, and definitely wishing the best for him, man. Dude's money. Dude's got a ton of potential in the future. Like I said, this is phase one to an awesome career. So major kudos to Trick Williams for winning the NXT championship. All right. So, of course, hashtag Ask Doc is the way to go. And before that, I'm going to talk about Chelsea Green. So I wanted to bring this up. I wanted to talk about this real quick. I think I was live at Raw, and I found something that was really, really interesting. Now, on television, there was a chorus of boos when Chelsea Green got eliminated by Zoe Stark. There was a chorus of boos, but what television didn't really pick up as much, but there was it started to just catch. It wasn't, I mean, people weren't cheering for her in the very beginning because she's like an annoying, let me speak to your manager, just kind of, entitled brat heel. I think that's ran its course because people it just kind of caught. I mean, she was part of the final, set of people. And with the options that we had watching the match live, Chelsea Green became the person of interest, and people started to really get behind Chelsea Green, and people really started to chant her name, and they got really behind Chelsea Green, and it really got me to thinking. I've called her like the female Santino Marella. I think that's pretty accurate. I do think that she's like the female Santino Marella, just kind of a comedy shtick. Santino's won the Intercontinental Championship. He won it on his first match. I believe he beat Umaga, I think with the help of Bobby Lashley. So he's won the Intercontinental Championship. He's been United States champion as well. He's been tag team champion. So Santino's got he's got a pretty nice resume. But he was runner-up of the 2011 Royal Rumble, which was amazing. The Milan Miracle Part 2 of perhaps winning, and he was just one of those things. It was watching that Royal Rumble was really, really cool, man, because I was thinking in my head, like, come on now, like Santino, but me and the fans, I was were thinking the same. Like, no, I don't really want Santino to win, but I think it would be kind of cool over Alberto Del Rio, and the very fact that he really played into the crowd like he had a shot of winning, and that was really cool. But that's really the best that he's gotten as far as the world title. But I will say that Chelsea Green, in a lot of ways, is like the female version of Santino Marella, just a comedy gimmick. But he really, I mean, Santino really had a pretty cool career as the babyface. He's had a heel run too when he won the Intercontinental Championship again, and then he was teaming up with Beth Phoenix and started to count his count his days, count his streak of being Intercontinental Champion, and was trying to beat the honky tonk, the honky donkey man, and then that was really funny. But he was still a comedy shtick. But I think that Chelsea Green can have the ability to really cash in on this kind of fan spark, like cash it in. I think that was a lightning bolt moment that the fans got behind Chelsea Green, especially when Zoe Stark eliminated her. I think you got to run with that, man. I think it would be interesting if Chelsea Green transitions into a babyface, and then you have Zoe Stark be her first rival, and there you go. I mean, the fans are behind her. Then you can have Piper Niven come out with her, and then get jealous that she's getting, a lot of fan support, and Piper can say, "I've never done that. I was never able to do that." And that would be really, really cool to see that. That would be really, really cool to see the fact of Piper Niven turning on Chelsea Green and having the ability to really bump her up as a babyface. Her against Piper Niven. Do it. They were tag team championships. So we've got losers. We've got losers. We don't do losers in the chat. Delete. We don't do losers in the chat. We don't do this. Is an absolutely family atmosphere. We do lots of chilling and relaxing here on PMP. Don't do trolls. Don't do loony jerks. This is a big fam, and you can take your obnoxious trolling, basement dwelling, bottom feeding misery somewhere else, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. There you go. There you go, baby. Yeah. Oh my goodness, as Booker T would say. But yeah, I really like the potential of Chelsea Green here. I think you need to just go ahead and capitalize on that joker, man. Do it. Capitalize on it. Why not? Really? Why not? Why not do that? Because otherwise, what you can do is, otherwise you'll get to the point where Chelsea Green is just the same person. She's just, I mean, this part of Chelsea Green, this version of Chelsea Green really has a ceiling to it. I mean, what are you going to do? Just have her team with Piper Niven, sometimes win matches, sometimes lose matches? That wouldn't make sense. What I think you should do is I think you should team Nia Jax with Piper Niven. I really do. I think you should have. I think Nia Jax and Piper Niven would be an absolutely unstoppable tag team. They give each other the respect. They give each other the respect and have a tandem of dominance. Just think about that. Piper Niven and Nia Jax against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Absolutely. That would be a cool WrestleMania match too. At least some like a SummerSlam match. That would be money. That would be a really good story behind there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's time. It is time for the question cam. All right, here we go. Let's get into these questions, ladies and gentle people. Of course, you know the hashtag is AskDoc. Hashtag AskDoc, and we are going to get on the road. Let's start off with the People's Wrestling Channel. Did you buy the Undisputed and World Heavyweight title? Yes, those are mine. I didn't buy it there. Oh no, gosh, no, are you kidding? I'm not paying $500 for a belt, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I'm not. That's what I'm not going to do. That's what I'm not going to do. Andy Mineo, shout out to Andy Mineo, Christian rapper. Here's what I'm not going to do. And nah, I'm not doing that. That would have been like $1,000 for 2 championships. No, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna buy a replica championship that looks just as good, and I'm gonna get it from a third party, and I'm gonna set it on in my man cave for display. And 2 to 3 times a year when WWE comes to my town, I'm going to take it off of my display, and I'm going to wear it. I mean, or at least hold it or whatever. So I'm not going to pay $500 for it to just sit on in my man cave display, and in my house. So no, I'm not going to do that. What were the dark matches? There were no dark matches. No dark matches, and it was just Becky Lynch's theme song just playing for like 10 minutes. It was just like we were all just kind of hanging out there just waiting. Because I mean, I had to I worked as well. I reported the main event results, and I also was waiting for the post. I was waiting for the dark matches for post to report, and there was nothing to report, ladies and gentlemen, because Becky Lynch's theme music just played for like 10 minutes, and she was going up and down the arena and celebrating, and that's really it. That's really what happened, and that was that. So. Elvis. Around midnight, Mom had to go to the hospital. She wasn't feeling well. She said her face felt numb. She is back home feeling better. Got home around 5:40 this morning. Plus, I work today. So, thank you for the update. I'm glad that she's feeling better now. Definitely, prayers are there. Prayers for the health of Mama Martinez. And did you find out what caused this? What was going on? So let's think about some preventative measures for this to be reduced or not to happen again, or at least not for a long time. That's what I'm really, really hoping for and praying for God's wisdom and healing in this situation. What are my favorite pizza toppings? Pepperoni, banana peppers. Yeah, pepperoni, banana peppers. I did do I don't even know what it's called, but it was like it was banana peppers, sausage, and ham. I'm not the biggest sausage fan. Not the as far as pizza toppings. But I tell you what, man, it was on. I hosted AEW. Me and a couple of friends watched Dynasty at my house, and I hosted. So I provide food and for hosting, and I got some good pizza. And it had pepperoni and banana peppers. I love banana peppers on pizza. So, and then I had ham on it too. And it was good. It was good. Undisputed king of memorabilia. Thoughts on the released talent from this year? Yeah, so I'm sure that Sports Kid is going to want me to do something about this in depth when it comes to me and Vince Russo talking about this. The the short version is gender was a surprise, but there's some rumors of why he quit according to his X account or Twitter. So there were some rumors of why he left. So I want to hold that until I find a little bit more. I was actually listening to the Chris Van Vliet interview, but it was actually done before he left. So I'm gonna wait and see and hold off because there's some rumors as far as like not getting opportunities, sitting around. There was some rumored as far as a stereotyped pitch. There were again all rumors. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna let it sit around and wait for a second before I really get my thoughts on that the way that I want it to be. Xia Li, they tried over and over with her, man. It just didn't work out. It just didn't work out with her. Um, and this year, Veer and Shanga. I mean, dude. I mean, they gave Veer vignettes on Raw for 6 months before debuting him. He had promo after video vignette after video vignette for 6 months, to even to the point that I made it a gimmick on. I made it a gimmick on Legion of Raw as far as Veer's return because it was just 6 months of video stuff. So unfortunately, I kind of felt that they weren't going to do anything with him. Sanga, same thing within this year, just didn't work out. Cameron Grimes, man, he was doing so well in NXT. It's just, man, I call it the call up curse. And it's just like, sometimes it's like, man, at this point, if you do some market research and see that there's a trend of wrestlers not really doing well in call ups. I was watching main event and Ivar beat Apollo Cruz. And for those who watch PMP, who's been PMP loyalists for a number of years now, you would know that I defended Apollo Cruz quite a bit. And now, man, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore because he is just so irrelevant in WWE. And unfortunately, I think that it wouldn't surprise me. I'll say this much. It would not surprise me if Apollo Crews is next in line as far as being let go. Unfortunately, I think that that's something that may happen sooner than later because dude's got a ton of potential, man. But they are just, I mean, he did the African gimmick, which worked for him. He ended up being Intercontinental Champion, winning the title at WrestleMania against Big E. You know, it worked. Had a heavy with them too, who's unfortunately been released. And so then he went back to babyface Apollo Crews. I actually wanted babyface Apollo Crews to really have some momentum. During COVID, he was feuding with I think MVP, if I'm not mistaken. He ended up winning the US championship. So like he had a ton of potential, and even coming to NXT, you know, when he was Uha Nation in the Indies, super over, man. He was like a huge acquisition at the time, you know, going to the NXT, and man, what they've done with this guy is embarrassing. It's like This other person I'm about to compare him to definitely has done more, has a stronger resume in WWE, but nowadays they're there's a lot of comparison. They're not equal, but there's a lot of comparison. Shinsuke Nakamura, man, he's another person that's just, if he leaves, I mean, he'll be a champion in New Japan within a year, probably even 6 months. I think if Apollo Cruz goes back to Uha Nation, I can see him doing very well in the Indies. AEW not so much. TNA perhaps. I think TNA could work in TNA and be very well. But man, they've yikes. Cameron Grimes, like I said, when I haven't seen the video. I've just seen screenshots of it on the socials that he was crying about it. He said something about his father telling him that he signed with WWE is the thing that he wanted to say. I've seen basically reports of it on the socials, but clearly it hit hard for him, and understandably so, man. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to many people, and it worked for him in NXT, the whole To The Moon thing, and it was great, but never really grew legs on the main roster. Is that main roster curse, man? Look at Baron Corbin. He's back in NXT because he got bit by that bug, man. What do you make Derek is asking, what do you make of Swerve Strickland becoming AEW champ? Oh, I'm for it, man. I think it's great. I think it's again, man, I always say strike while the iron's hot, man. Strike while the iron is hot. And Prince Nana, I was saying this weekend, Prince Nana is the MVP. Prince Nana is the unsung hero of Swerve's title reign. Now, of course, Swerve, with his athleticism, ability, his mic work has there's some to be desired in his mic work. His overall promo, I don't think is very strong, but his in-ring work is phenomenal. But his character is over. I would say largely. I'm going to defend this. His character is over largely because of Prince Nana. The whole Swerve dance. That's what really caught wind and caught steam with him as a character. Because if you think about it, he was teaming up with Keith Lee. They were tag team champions. It was okay, when they were baby faces. It was okay. But his heel turn to Keith Lee, it was just, I mean, it didn't really take him far. And then he did his old Mogul Embassy thing. That didn't last long. Mogul Enterprises. It was what, Mogul Enterprises or whatever, and that flopped. And then he joined Prince Nana and became the Mogul Embassy. But when Prince Nana started to do that Swerve dance, that's what really caught steam. And because I'll say, man, because of Prince Nana, he's the unsung hero, man. Prince Nana is the unsung hero of this Swerve momentum. Because if it wasn't for him, I would dare to say that Swerve wouldn't be as over as he is now. And this is something that I don't understand. One thing that just bothers me so much about AEW is, what the heck are y'all doing as far as y'all's baby faces and heel dynamic? That's horrible, man. It's absolutely horrible. Like, stop making matches so much. And Swerve hasn't turned babyface all together. So fans are cheering him, but he's still coming out of the heel entrance as Killmonger. And dude, if he's a baby face, make him a baby face. If people are cheering him unanimously, turn him, and we'll see if if he turns full babyface or if he stays, you know, uh, acting as if he's a heel, and it just that heel face dynamic from A to AEW, it sucks, man. Tony Khan is so just he gets a hard on so much about just matches that he just forgets the dynamic of characters, man. And that's characters make the world go round as far as professional wrestling is concerned. Yes, there'll be matches that people will remember, but the story is and the character development is what it's really all about, man. And that AEW sucks doing that. It's mind numbing as far as just the lack of character development and storytelling that AEW has. And so, yes, I'm happy that Swerve won, but I'm not compelled to watch AEW on a weekly basis because he won, to be honest with you. I'm not compelled because, yes, he won. Yes, that was a moment. Yes, that was cool. But what about next week? Is it there's going to be a good story by it? Is he a baby face? Is he a heel? Where are we going with this? And I'm not sold, or I'm not confident that just because he won the title, things are going to change as far as character development and storytelling. Elvis, crazy things are happening here in my city. The agenda for city council on Monday. 813 City Council will vote on banning the needle exchange program without hearing from anyone that works in the medical field or licensed addiction counselors. Well, I think I'll be interested in getting the research first. So, Colorado, ladies and gentlemen. Thoughts on Swerve winning the belt in AEW? Okay, I talked about that already. Benjamin, what's up, Benjamin? Good to see you, man. Hashtag Axe Doc. He said theme songs are massive. Shinsuke and debut. Yeah. Glorious. Yes. Perfect. I wonder if Bobby Roode's going to take. I wonder if he's going to take that Glorious theme and give it to someone else, man. Like, yes, he's an agent, now, and he's doing very well. I was told from people in the back, from sources backstage, that he assisted Michael Hayes with producing the Cody Roman match. So he's doing some really good work as far as just producing in WWE, which doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me whatsoever that he's doing that type of work. He's he's really good, man, and he's really established himself. He's a pro. He's been doing this for a while now, and he knows his stuff. And I think he's in a good spot, man. I'm really happy for him. But unfortunately, we won't hear Glorious anymore. So maybe he'll christen someone with that theme song. So check this out. Do I see going to NXT? I don't know. I don't even know if NXT is even a part of the draft. I know that people from NXT can be drafted onto Raw and SmackDown, but I don't know if there's a draft to people to go to NXT. I don't think there is. So I am not sure if who would go to NXT. My thoughts on the new SmackDown tag titles. I think that they're better than the Raw titles, although seeing the Raw titles live at Raw, that they actually look better in person than they do on television. They actually don't look bad. They actually look pretty sharp. But as far as SmackDown, yeah, I like them. They remind me of the old SmackDown tag titles. I think they really look nice. I just wish that there was a splash of color. There was an account, and I put it on my Twitter. I put a picture on my Twitter. The account actually has the @ on the picture, so they'll get credit for me sharing the picture. But that account put a little splash of color in the world in the middle plate. They colored the world blue. And that brought out the title so much, man. I like the title, but I just wish there was a little bit splash of color, man. It just kind of looked like a skeleton type of drawing of something, and it just needs to be filled in just a little more. And if they make that world blue, man, that'll bring so much depth into that title, man. They should do that. They should do that. What my theme song be? I used to play. I used to play who? No Mercy. No Mercy had this theme song. Da 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 dum, da 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 dum, and I was a big fan of that theme song. I had my character, um, and he had that theme song, and I wanted a variation of that theme song if I end up wrestling. Yeah, I need to catch up with Dark Side episodes. I was just talking to Bill Apta about this. We were talking about Dark Side, and I am right now. I am a little bit in Harley's. I don't think I've done Harley's fully, or maybe I finished Harley's. Yeah, I think I did finish Harley's actually because they were talking about his death at the end. Yeah, I think I finished Harley's. The next was Chris Colt, and so I didn't have the time to watch the next one. So right now I haven't started Chris Colt, so I still have to do Chris Colt, and then Chris Adams, and then there's another one before Sherry Martel. So whichever one. What's before Sherry? Chris Cole, Chris Adams. Okay, so I've got 3 more to go. So I've got Chris Cole, Chris Adams, and Sherry Martel. So I've got 3 to go. So, all right. Well, I put the title on Becky. Safe bet. Safe bet. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. So, safe bet. I mean, you can, it was one of those things that Rhea got injured. This is a huge monkey wrench in the plans. And you only had a week to make this happen. And as you are writing stories and as you're writing plans for the title, it's a safe bet to put it on Becky. So, but the funny thing is, and I did share this yesterday, I was like, it appears as if Becky Lynch was probably going to take some time away too to be with Seth because Seth is recovering from injury and he's going to be out for a while. And of course, Becky's with her child and wanted to be mommy. So it made sense, man, for her to take some time off too. But it seems like she was called and told, hey, so are you come, we got some plans for all. Yeah, I just really want to sit home and, just take a little bit of time off to take care of Kobe, or, she probably calls Seth his real name. And it seemed like Triple H was, or whoever is, does the booking or the calls nowadays, they probably like, so okay, we hear you, but we were going to put the title on you, but we'll go ahead and move. No. Okay, you said Columbus, Ohio. Okay, yeah. I'll be there. I'll be there next Monday. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be there next Monday. And so that's what it seemed like as far as Becky Lynch. It definitely doesn't seem like it was a title. A title shot or a title win for her in the plans and the books, but hey, stuff happens. It says it all when Chelsea Green is the news coming out of Raw. I mean, sometimes stuff hits, man. Sometimes stuff hits. It wasn't planned. It was a battle royal. It was the last few people in there, last 6 or whatever it was. And out of the 6, the fans just started to chant for Chelsea Green, man. And do it now. I'd do it for you, Booker T. What show would you be drafted to? I'd be drafted to Raw, man. Raw's the flagship. Although SmackDown's where the WWE Championship is, it's the the higher rated one. Raw's the flagship. flagship show. I would eventually want to be on SmackDown, but Raw just because of the history. What I think about the recent releases, I've got talked about that already. RK4, Chelsea Green and Nia Jax should have won the title. I definitely don't think Chelsea Green should have won. I think let this cook with Chelsea. Nia Jax, I wouldn't have been mad about. I would have been mad about. To have a heel as a champion since Bailey is babyface champ, Nia is more believable and gets heat. Yeah, I mean Nia's more believable. Yeah, I wouldn't have been mad at Nia Jax winning. I mean, she's the most legitimate looking person on in the entire Royal Rumble. So, sure. I mean, why not? Although, they might let that cook for a little bit as far as just Becky Lynch having an opponent and could be Nia Jax and Liv Morgan. Nia Jax and Liv Morgan were fighting in the backstage, and so I can definitely see a triple threat match happening at Backlash between Becky Lynch against Nia Jax and Liv Morgan. And so, yeah, there's a part of me that feels as if Liv Morgan's going to be champ before Rhea comes back. I'm not sold on Liv as a heel. She's just there's nothing about her that convinces me that she's a threat to anybody. Now, as a babyface, there's always the banana peel finishes. There's always the underdog story. You have that type of intangible that you can have as far as the support that gives you that type of strength, that David and Goliath, Rocky Balboa type of mentality of just scrappy do, let me at them type of deal. Underdogs, have that ability. But when you think of heels, you're thinking of like dominant threats, someone who's intimidating, someone who can beat you up at a bar type of deal. Liv Morgan does not check any of those boxes. And so I'm not convinced. Now, if she had a heavy or if she had an assistant, now that would be, if she had a muscle, that would be interesting. And I called the tease that we saw on Raw. On my show last week, Unscripted, I said what they should do. I said they should have, I actually said they should have Liv take out Rhea. And then Dominic comes in for the save. Seemingly he's going to save Rhea, but he just clocks Rhea and joins Liv Morgan. There you go right there. That's going to give Liv some heat. And if Dominic, even if he's injured now, like his injury now didn't really change that because he can be Liv's manager. So even if Liv is going against people that are more, that are bigger than she is, okay, well, you have Dominic out there that's bigger than they are. So he can use, his distraction. He can do the whole pull the leg gimmick. He can distract for her to, do something dastardly, and Dom being with her would make perfect sense, especially with the Rhea thing. Now, if Dom was with her, yes, I would it would be more believable for me for her to be a heel champion on Raw, because you have a bigger person who's your heavy, and he's Dominic Mysterio. He's a male, not smaller, not big, but not smaller guy. He's bigger than most of the women's wrestlers, and so it would make sense. And then you can, of course, tie that into Rhea coming back. Michael, Chelsea Green would be good to win Money in the Bank. She can run out with the briefcase. The man in the ref to ring the bell would be comical. Now that would be funny. Yeah, I'm down. That would be interesting. Because say a heel beats Bailey, for instance, or like, if even on that side, who the heck is going to Stratton to probably See, that would be interesting. So if if Tiffany Stratton beats Bailey and becomes champ in the next few months, which wouldn't surprise me, Chelsea Green cashing in on Tiffany Stratton and like, you know, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, something like that. Man, that would be funny. Now that would be something that I would be interested in. My favorite Survivor Series match of all time, and why is it that match? Again, that's something you got to tweet me because I got to look at the whole Survivor Series card. I don't. There's nothing that stands out to me. Okay, yeah, I got to look at the whole card. I wouldn't even call this my favorite, but the one that stands out to me was the I think it was 90 where they had the maybe 91, but I think it was 90. One of those, 90 or 91, where they had they only did it 1 year, where they had the winners of all the babyface teams end up teaming up at the end against the winners of the heel team. And I think it was cool because that was Tito Santana's like big moment, as far as like a main event. I ended up teaming up with Hogan and Savage. Oh, now I got to see it. Against it was DiBiase. I would think it was like 3-on-5. I think it was 90. Let's see. I think it was 90. So, yep. So it was 5-on-3. The heels were Ted DiBiase, Rick Martel, the Warlord, Hercules, and Paul Roma. So those are the survivors of all the other all the heel matches. And they lost against Hogan. It was Hogan, Warrior, and Tito. That's what it was. Hogan, Warrior, and Tito. So, yeah, that one stands out to me. I have to look at all of them. Ben is happy back. He went. Obviously, they're giving the title to Liv Morgan before Rhea comes. Okay, yep. So that's what I said. Yep. Rollin, what's up? What's up, my man? Were there really trolls in this chat? That's rare. I didn't see anything because I was busy writing my comment. Oh, yeah, that was one that was just saying that my speech was slow. And I'm like, well, hey, I'm a therapist. And so if I was speaking very fast to my clients, I wouldn't be a really good therapist because I wouldn't give them an opportunity to process what I'm saying. So I'm a really chill, relaxed, just methodic, calculated type of person that doesn't really spend a lot of time speaking so fastly, quickly, because people can miss what I say. So I want to be very intentional in my speech, and that's the reason why I do what I do and I talk how I talk. And I'm just chill. It's so funny because people think there's sometimes people think that I smoke weed. I don't smoke weed. I'm just a chill guy. I don't need weed to be relaxed and chill. I got the power of the Holy Ghost. Come on, somebody. Yeah, I don't need it. I'm just a chill guy. I used to have I think I've shared this many times on PNP. I used to have a really bad anger problem. I used to be mad at the world and just, I found so much, that's the reason why I sympathize with trolls so much, because they're miserable people who are insecure, what I mean? And they want to spending so much time on trying to get a rise off of someone else because it's indicative. It's for a second, it's a win in their column because they're so miserable about how they feel. So anytime, you spend time putting stuff on screens and, addressing people past 3 seconds, what I mean? Like, it's just even that long is too long. But spending time especially going back and forth with troll, like if you are sane and you go back and forth with a crazy troll, there's no longer only one crazy person in the discussion. Like you've basically just allowed someone to do precisely what they want to do. wanted to do was to bring you down in order to feel for a moment higher than what they really feel about themselves. So that's the reason why, man, there's always, look, I'm telling you, man, there's people who says, I read the comment section every now and then, and I peek in, because I really am not mine. PNP's comment section is amazing. I'm telling you, this show has the best overall, the best fans, respectful. Even with disagreements, it's just respectful. It's actually adults acting like adults. That's the reason why I love PNP so much. It's actually adults acting like adults. Hey, guess what? People can act like adults and not act like child trolls. But we live in a again. As a psychology doctor, I do a lot of studies. I understand the mind behind trolling. The the root of that, the root of trolling is typically loneliness and insecurity. So you have lonely, insecure people who want to rise off of someone else. And so what they do is they try to get attention from someone who they feel as if they're envious of, they're jealous of, and they want a part of they want a part of their attention because they feel a certain way about them. And for a moment, they feel like they get a little bit of power if they're able to influence someone in a negative way. It's sad. It's really sad. It's desperate. It's sad, and people like that. Which you look at any comment section, and you'll see people like that. They're just lonely, miserable people, man. So why entertain them? Yeah, I look at. I never respond to any of the trolls in the comment section. It's such a waste of time. Such a waste of my time, and time is a really, really big thing for me. So I can address them unanimously. I can address them generally just because they exist. I'm not going to pretend that they exist. They don't exist. They do exist, but I'll address trolls generally. But specific trolls, there's like specific trolls. There's like trolls that one in particular, I think, that just comments on every Sportskeeda video, and he just sounds desperate and just like obsessed with me. And I'm like, you know what, man? Look, if you want to spend your time every single time knowing that I'm gonna be on a video, but you still watch it and you still complain, and your complaining is not going to change me getting paid to talk to voice whatever I want to say and say whatever I want to say on the video. That's not going to change anything. So you're just wasting your time. But clearly, he and any other troll have time to give. I don't have time to give. I have a very, very busy life. And I definitely don't have time to give to be watching an entire podcast of someone I don't like and still commenting every single time about how much I don't like the person. That is mad weird, man. That's mad weird. And it also shows me that this person doesn't have much time. Are these people, whoever trolls, especially those recurring trolls, those are the ones who really just are just bottom feeding, time wasting basement dwellers. So yeah, there's my troll soapbox. You don't get much of that in me. That was a soapbox moment to answer a question. See, that's when I start adjusting trolls when someone asks a question about them. That's other than that, it is what it is, man. People are sad, unfortunately, and that ain't got nothing to do with me. All right, People's Wrestling Channel. I love Santino getting people's name wrong. John Chana. Yes, indeed, he was funny. Did I watch main event or just Raw? Well, main event was taped before Raw, so I had to record main event, so I watched both of them. Do I think showing the Punk footage actually helped Perry? Crowd was popping for a heel team. Not sure what Khan is aiming for there. Yeah, that's a good question. So, did I think it helped Perry. I think it gave Perry a little bit of attention. But the attention span for pro wrestling fans is shorter than the average attention span, which is about 8 seconds nowadays. It used to be longer, but now it's unfortunately gotten to the point of the average attention span is about 8 seconds. So the attention span of the likeness of someone is shorter for pro wrestling fans. They're just looking for a pop. They're rebels, most of them. A lot of pro wrestling fans are cultish, rebel trolls who want to express how they feel about themselves by just being contrarians and rebellious and maniacal and bloodthirsty. And Jack Perry coming in the scene that just falls right along with a reaction that he would probably get. So it didn't surprise me. Will that last? No, it won't last. It doesn't ever last. So, I mean, it doesn't wow me that he got the reaction, but just like everybody else, it's going to be a hiccup and moving on. When you have a chance, listen to the song Jesus You Remain by The Wrecking. Send that to me. Interesting. I used to listen to Andy Mineo. Rollins says, I think he says his name was C. Lightback. It was. I can play the background. I can play the background. He was the one singing on the Craze song background. He was still C. Light at that time. Christian rap was huge around 2010. I don't listen to him much anymore. Man, I'm telling you, Rollins, there's a lot you're missing. Actually, follow my Spotify page. I'm a DJ. I think I've told you that before. I play Christian rap and Christian EDM, and got a Christian R&B playlist. Of course, as Aaron know, I got him hooked into chill hop. Big chill hop guy. That's most of my music selection, man. So yeah, follow me at Chris Prolific on Spotify. You'll get to check out. Save my playlist and have fun at them. Have a good time. Elvis said, thank you. She gets text constantly, but doctor found out the cause. Good. Could have been the headaches that made her face feel numb. Okay. Thank you for the update. They would try to hinder the gender. Yeah, they did. Unfortunately, he's no longer there. Vera's still coming. Yeah, he's still coming, man. Still coming. Rollin, props to Trick Williams and Swerve Strickland. Is it a coincidence that both companies put the most significant brand titles AEW versus NXT and the Black Man in the same week, one day or so apart? Interesting. Is it a coincidence? I do think that probably was the plan to put the title on Trick Williams before Dynasty. So probably not. Because they wouldn't know. I guess they would assume or speculate that Swerve was going to win, but I'm for it. Even if it was planned, so be it. Cool, sounds good to me. I'm in support of that. I've mentioned several times that it's just Rollin is asking. I mentioned several times that it's strange that two black men have never main evented WrestleMania one-on-one match, nor has one black man won the Royal Rumble. Oh man, I never noticed that. Yeah, no black man has ever won the Royal Rumble. I think maybe Trick Williams would break the mold. As far as two black men main eventing a WrestleMania one-on-one, I don't know who the heck could that even be nowadays. That's really interesting. I do think that's strange. I think that's very strange. A one-on-one black man you have right now is Bobby Lashley. I mean, main eventer all day long, but don't think he'll main event anytime soon. If I had my choice, the only feasible main event in the next 5 years that I can see for the World Championship would be like a Montez Ford against a Carmelo Hayes. That's the only thing that I can see right now. I think you got to let Trick Williams cook for a while. I think 5 years, a little bit toward the end of the 5 years, I think he'll get into world title contention 5 years from now. But I think by that time they probably have already pushed Carmelo to be up there, which Carmelo in the world title picks from the main roster, I'm not really sold on that. I need to see more, but I think Triple H, Shawn Michaels, loves him. So we'll see. I mean, Bobby Lashley won't be in the main event. R-Truth won't be in the main event. As far as other black wrestlers, Montez Ford, I can definitely see him in a main event spot. Angelo Dawkins, no. I maybe miss Apollo Crews, no. So, yeah, man, we need more of that. Glad you brought that up. I know you're hoping for Montez Ford to at least win the 2024 Men's Royal Rumble, but unfortunately, I don't see WWE giving the 25 Rumble to win to a brother. I don't see it either, unfortunately. I think someone like a Gunther would win. Strangely, Bianca Belair decides one day to be a wrestler and then accomplishes both the Rumble win and main events Mania in a one-on-one match with another black performer. Yeah, that was historical. I liked it. It was great. I saw Shinsuke versus Mojo live when they were NXT. It's a crime how he's been wasting WWE just doing jobs. I mean, my goodness, he's just been horrible, man. Absolutely horrible. I mean, at this point, it has to be because of the money. It has to be because the money's good. That's it. Because he can go back and be a star in New Japan. How's Black Bart doing? I haven't talked to Black Bart in a little bit, probably a few months. We exchange messages back and forth on Facebook, and he'll like a status or something like that and comment or back and forth. So I haven't talked to him in a while. I need to message him and see how he's doing. Zoo Bear's in the building. Hi, Doc. What's up, my man? Supposed to WrestleMania night 2 last minute, which was cool idea, but sadly plans were ruined with personal issues such as a flood in my apartment since then been dealing with physical and mentally. Sorry to hear that, man. Keep us posted on that for sure. How can I deal with the ever non-stopping ups and downs in my life? Super's asking. I honestly wish you could be my therapist. Well, there's confidentiality. First of all, you're not in Ohio, so I won't be able to practice with you anyways. And then 2, I can't say that you're my client because that would be that would break confidentiality. So no one would know. But I can't endorse you being my client because people would know publicly that you're my client. So I can't share that. You found the swerve dance really goofy. I don't agree with that at all. I think the swerve dance is hilarious. I think it's great. I think it's funny. I think that's what Swerve is. What is really called Swerve to be who he is. Wouldn't it make sense to draft to start on Monday and then on a Friday, not the other way around? I thought about that too. It just seems like they're making SmackDown a flagship show, man. They got first pick. That goes to show how they feel about the order. SmackDown first, Raw second. Ben says that's what confused me in AEW. I'm new to it, and the crowd just cheers for everyone. Yes, exactly. Storylines don't make sense to me. Same problem with Bucks. Exactly. This is coming from someone who's new to AEW. This comment right here. It's confusing. A friend of mine was here watching AEW with me. He's in the WWE, but he was watching the AEW as someone who's a very casual AEW fan, diehard WWE fan, casual AEW fan, and he was confused too. He's like, I don't know who to cheer. Like, I don't know who to boo. I don't know who to cheer. I'm confused. And if you're not in the bubble, you're like people in the AEW bubble, pro wrestling period, but In the AEW bubble, there's so many marks for AEW. It just gets really confusing, and people just don't know. They bow out because they don't know who to cheer, man. They don't know who to boo. They don't know who to cheer. They're just watching. They're just watching wrestling matches of people are just like in awe. We got a row, and I'm going to zoom through these, but I do want to say this. Yeah, you say here, perfect example. Like I'll get to you, Ricky and Zubair. Like, why do we have an Ospreay versus Danielson with virtually no bill? Feels wasted on the mid-card random per view. Okay, exactly. Like I gave this example to a good friend who was defending it, kind of, but I said basically this is how wrestling is, especially AEW. I collect J's. That's one of my biggest hobbies. I love collecting. I'm a shoe guy, so I love collecting J's. I like shoes, but I love collecting Jordans. And so I got into this is like year 3 for me. I started collecting J's 3 years ago. And it's cool. It's a really cool hobby, very, very cool hobby. And so I've gotten into colorways and additions, of course, and things like that. So I'm actually 3 years ago, I would have had no idea of how to have a conversation with a fellow Jordan's collector. Now, oftentimes in my church, there's a few other people who collect J's too. And so we'll have conversations. Yeah, there's these new ones that came out. Let's look at them. Let's look at pictures. Oh, that's a dope colorway. So all these types of verbiages when it comes to J's. That would be like me and some friends from church. We're going to a J's convention, right? So we go into the convention and we just see a bunch of different colorways for the ones. I love the ones. I love ones. And so I see a bunch of different colorways for ones. And, there's a friend of ours that just kind of was riding with one of us and just came along for the ride, has no idea, doesn't collect J's, not really an interest. And so then we all start talking within each other, and that other person is kind of standing out. And I'm having a conversation with my friends about J's. Man, see that colorway? Man, that colorway is dope. Man, look at those ones. Look at those 11s. Look at those 13s. Man, look at those lows. Man, you like that? Man, that was so amazing. So we're in awe about it and having these conversations like, man, look at that colorway. Man, look at that toe. Look at that. Look at that toe box. So we're having this conversation. And then the other person is just kind of sitting around or standing around with this what the heck are y'all talking about? I don't know. I'm not even in. I have no clue what y'all are talking about right now. And that's basically pro wrestling in a nutshell. And it's crazy because we're just straggling along. We're just so enamored and so immersed in this conversation. And we don't even spend time explaining to the other person where to even fit in here because we don't really care to explain. That's how wrestling has become. It doesn't, it doesn't give room for someone casually to just come in and understand. Collecting Jordans is like a niche thing. It's supposed to be a niche thing. Wrestling isn't supposed to be niche. Wrestling is supposed to be episodic performance, combat, sports entertainment, television. It's not supposed to be niche, but it's became niche. And the niche audience is complaining about the people who don't know what they're talking about, which would be the same thing as we complaining about the person who doesn't know Jordan lingo. It's not their fault. It's our fault for not allowing them to come in, but it is niche though. And we accept that it's niche, and that's okay, but let's not act as if it's not niche anymore. It's a niche product. Just like Jordans, collecting Jordans, it's a niche product. And we can't get mad at someone who doesn't understand what we're talking about. Just say, That's cool. But guess what? Pro wrestling trolls, they get mad at people who don't know what you're talking about. Oh, why would you not know? Well, oh my goodness, you don't think that Bryan Danielson and Will Ospreay is a 5-star match, man? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know about wrestling. And like the person who doesn't watch AEW, they're looking like, dude, I am lost. I'm lost. A person who likes Jays can look. A person don't have to know about Jay lingo to look at Jays and say, "Oh, those are nice," but I'm not going to get into the culture until someone gives me in, and there's enough about the culture that gets me really into liking it, understanding it, starting to look at on feet videos, things like that. But at the same time, it gets ridiculously odd and weird if somebody says, "Oh, you don't know about no colorways. Oh, you ain't gonna get these ones, man. You a fool." Like that would seem tribalistic and just ridiculously mad, weird. But somehow pro wrestling fans can do it and think that they're okay. Just think that it's totally normal. No, it's not normal. It's not normal to look like that. You seem like an oddball mark who is delusional and stuck in this bubble, man. Don't do that. Don't be that weird guy. But unfortunately, there's a bunch of weird guys in the pro wrestling community, and it's a vast number of people in the pro wrestling community that act like that now. And that's the reason why people are just like, I don't think I'll come to these conventions anymore because there's some weirdos over here. All right, let's zoom through these. Because we as far as we're going to do it, we were going to do we are probably 15 or so minutes because of time. We're going to do a watch along of Continental. So on the after party, it's going to be fun. So we're going to hurry up. Let me do these. Great questions tonight, everybody. Great questions. Really, really fun as always. Where we at? Make my system of the draft. I said that already. All right, I said that already. That's what confuses me. Ratings were down last week, despite Cody being on, so he's clearly not a draw. I mean, I didn't think he was going to be a draw. I didn't. Bryan Danielson versus Real Straight Mass Craze. Okay, so I was talking about that. Yeah. I mean, it was a good performance. I mean, it was performance art. It was a good performance art. It was a really good match. It was a great performance. But if I was a casual fan, I'm not going to look at that and say, "Oh, I got to watch AEW next week or whenever." It's a one-off. It's a one-off for non AEW hardcore matches. That was a one-off to enjoy. That's really about it. I enjoy because he's built or something. Yeah, agreed. People will be drafted in NXT. Okay, I didn't know that. They're not talking about that. They're not mentioning that at all. Glorious was life-changing. I didn't care at all about Rude, that theme, but I became a huge fan. Yeah, that was really cool. Lazy. Would you agree that WWE is as lazy as their writing? Yes. Partially. Because at least they put more effort in the belts, but I need more color splash. Shinsuke Nakamura thing. Remember that Mania entrance with the live violinist? Yeah, I was there. Whole crowd singing. Could have been more over. So much waste after. Yeah, I think that was 34 when he went against AJ. I was in New Orleans. Yeah, I was there doing media. No, I think it was in NXT. So I interviewed the violinist before. And that was cool. No, she was a guitar player. The violinist was the NXT, I believe. Yeah. So that was cool. I think you're talking about the black guy that was the violinist. I think that was an NXT show, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Happy Becky won. They're giving title Liv Morgan before Rhea comes. Yeah, exactly. Am I feeling tired and exhausted after Raw? Gotta say, as a content creator myself and fan, I've been so tired since Raw before WrestleMania. When I went WrestleMania week, work, gym, personal issue, life together. I mean, Zubair, imagine today, for instance. Okay, so I'm a therapist, so I'm working all day as a therapist, draining, incredibly draining. Then I go to the gym. Then I spend time with my family, and then I come in my office and prepare for 5 hours altogether. About 5 hours to do to prep for 3 podcast shows. So my Tuesdays are about I work about my Tuesdays are about what we do to carry the one 16 and a half hours. Mondays are about 16. So the Thursdays are about 14 and a half. So then I work Fridays too. And then I'm a college professor too. So I'm feeling tired and exhausted, period. So that Becky entrance on TV was great. She still got the charisma in the crowd. I just hope they don't overuse the whole long shot cam thing. It was cool. We'll see. Fans are starting to get out of Becky, so we'll see. How to rebalance your life? If I can ask, after lack of sleep, personal ups and downs, problems. How to rebalance? Prayer, reading scripture, and working out of the gym. Like those are my biggest things. My top 4 things that I do to recharge me throughout the week is daily prayer, daily Bible reading, and spending time with God, to just really order my steps and recharge me. Working out like crazy, to get that adrenaline, that endorphins, and self-care. Huge self-care fan. Taking myself out to dinner, going on date nights with my wife every week, just having that time, chilling. Yeah, I mean, those are my rebalance. Love spending time with my family. I have family dinner daily. Just catching up. My oldest son just he got a part. He was excited. He was really excited to tell me today. He got a part of a play, and he was really excited. He gave me the script. He's got a part in it, and so just catching up with family every night. That's all. Rebalance stuff. All right, awesome. We got a lot of. All right, I'm gonna zoom through these here. All right, Benjamin, or I don't live in Morgan's Hill either. Agreed, but it's the built-in program with Rhea coming back. Not sure you waste that heat. Doesn't have to stay that way. Yep, I agree. Yep. I actually think the Bianca Belair versus Jade Cargill will main event WrestleMania before 2 black men main event WrestleMania. That actually does not surprise me. I don't think. Bianca and Jade, I'm not sold. I'm sold on the feud. I'm not sure. I'm not sold on the feud going to WrestleMania. Jade still got some work to do in the ring. When I be interested in babyface Montez for challenging the heel world champion Bobby Lashley in main event and perhaps 42 or 43. No, I don't want. Lashley's a heel just doesn't work for me. He's a babyface. People like him. Same thing with Street Profits. They like him. So no, keep him as a babyface. People's Wrestling, Poor Priest Judgment Day are going to split up. He's going to have a very forgettable title reign and lose it back to Drew in 2 months. Yeah, I've called that. Drew 2 months in Scotland. Priest he doesn't feel like a champion. He didn't last week. He hasn't this week. So 0 for 2 for me. Rollin, imagine if we got Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair for World Title main event night 1 of WrestleMania 42 and 43 or 43, and Bobby Lashley versus Montez for World Title main event night 2. Now that would never happen. Never gonna happen. It'll be cool, but never gonna happen. Thoughts on WWE coming back on production? I mean, hey, it's business. It's business. I can't knock that. I think they should have more like glitz and glamour, but if they save that for the pay-per-views, I'm not mad at that. I mean, That's their money. Benjamin said, funny, I prefer my therapist talk fast. That 50 minutes is pricey if it isn't on my insurance, but you have to serve the clients you have, not me on Facebook. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You don't want to just rush things. And plus, you know, um, sorting things out with people isn't a fast process. Definitely isn't a fast process. That's for sure. And that's the thing about therapy is that it shouldn't be one and done anyways. I mean, it takes a while, especially if you got a bunch of caked up stuff, and man, it takes a long time. Rollins says, I don't watch NXT or AW either, so I only found out that Trick Williams was restricted by reading headlines. Is Sasha Banks full black like Booker T, or she mixed black like The Rock? I don't know her parents. I don't know her. I don't know her. I don't know about her. I don't know about that. I'll have to check that out. I would never troll you. We have mutual friends that I'm scared of. Interesting. Very interesting. It's probably a good call. The Rock won the Rumble. He's black. I think Rollins is talking about not mixed black. Yeah, I was going to say Rock Rumble 2000 was huge. It was a huge deal. Yeah, again, I think he's talking about mixed black. Eliminated Big Show was on an amazing moment. I was a high school kid, lost my mind. Nice. Jacob is on his way to WWE. Yes, he is. Closest that WWE has coming to main eventing. Two black men. WrestleMania was main evented The Rock versus Booker T for the WCW Championship at WrestleMania of the summer, aka SummerSlam. Yeah, that was what was that? One had to be a one, right? So two was Rock Brock. Yeah, so it'd be 01, right? Ironically, the very first WrestleMania after the SummerSlam, Booker T has won the world title match with Triple H, and The Rock finishes his WrestleMania trilogy with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, that would be interesting. That is ironic. Good point there. Been in therapy for many years. Everyone should do it. Very nice. I agree. As a therapist, I approve that message. All right, last question. The Rock winning the Royal Rumble was more like a Samoan man winning the Royal Rumble than a black man winning the Royal Rumble. It wasn't a huge deal. They didn't even say The Rock was the first black man. I think that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point there. All right, y'all. We are heading over to the after party. A very, very quick. Rock wasn't the first Samoan man to win the Royal Rumble because Yokozuna won it many years before. My Yokozuna. Yes, indeed. He's a part of the dynasty. All right, y'all. Awesome time, man. I usually don't spend an hour and a half on this show because we go to the after party, but I did today. So this was fantastic. I'm gonna start doing super chats when I get. Let's start building this up. And I just spent the past hour and a half answering questions. So continue to support this show. We have fun just like we did today. And let's continue to really get to the point of really supporting the show. So I really appreciate all of your amazing contribution today. Awesome. Of course, it's late and I've been up, and let's continue to join this revolution, ladies and gentlemen, to continue to push up pancakes and power slams for me to just really start to make some rounds in the pro wrestling algorithms, and just support your boy, man, by like, share, subscribing. Less than $1 a week for the Patreon. We have fun there every single time. I'm actually about to go over there for a hot minute. And then I gotta go. So, but yeah, I mean, like, again, if you really appreciate this as PMP, just continue to boost up those algorithms. Leave a comment every single week. That boosts up the algorithms as well. And yeah, man, I mean, hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a businessman, and I really want to spend the time in doing this and boosting this up and started to monetize this thing, and just really doing some wonderful things as always. I mean, even the live crowd at after 1 o'clock in the morning is still really good. So thank y'all. I really appreciate it. Continue to support the cause here. Hey, I'm gonna get up on out of here, headed to the after party for a quick moments to just talk to my Patreons, my patrons. Outside of that, your boy tired. And I thank y'all for spending the time with me tonight. 629 episodes in the book. Until 629 episodes in the books. Until next week, enjoy Ricky Wrestling. God bless. And always remember, I do it for you. Have a good night, everybody. So long.